Alrighty, in this video, I'm going to be discussing how to use AI as a sales assistant in your online business. Okay, so you might be a CEO, a founder, maybe you are just a salesperson, sales executive, head of sales, CRO, and you are doing some selling. But before every call, you're having to go and do your own manual research on the company. You're having to, input different information into the CRM, yada, 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 create deals, and so on and so forth. What I want to do is outline a way that you can use different automations and AI to cut out all of those tasks and honestly save you hours and hours every week. So there's a couple things that you want to set up. Four things really. First thing is Zapier. Second thing is Calendly. The third thing is OpenAI, or actually getting an OpenAI or ChatGPT subscription, and being able to use the API. And then the fourth thing, if you don't have one, is a CRM. Even if you do have one and you're not completely married to it, I recommend using close.com. Okay. I've been using CRMs for years and years, and I've used a lot of different ones. Close outperforms pretty much everything in my opinion. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the use cases. So use case number one, using it as a pre-demo research and note-taking kind of assistant. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is having the automation set such that when somebody books a call through your Calendly, okay, and Calendly is just if you're not familiar with it, it's just a calendar tool and a booking tool that you give people a link and they can directly book on your calendar, and you can ask them questions in a form that they fill out before you book with them. Okay, so you're going to get set up on Calendly, build out a form, and then the first thing that you're going to have the automation through Zapier do is answer a prompt, which is going to be something along the lines of act as a sales or growth consultant and review this company's website, answering these questions, that you lay out here. And this can be anything dependent on your offer, right, and what you're actually looking for. So here I just use ClickFunnels as an example. I booked an example call through my Calendly. Okay, so this is all set up through my Calendly. This info all got here without me having to do anything, except this here. This was an example that I was writing. But what you're going to do for the pre-demo sequence is essentially have the API run. Okay, do an API call from Calendly to, I guess, Zapier and OpenAI, and then in ChatGPT, which will then run that prompt, and then the API will then send this info to your close account or your CRM as a note. Okay, so now you get the call booked on your calendar. Okay, within 30 seconds, you can now go to your CRM. You have the automatic deal value there. Okay, you have the close date. This is all stuff that you can do in Zapier. You have your contact, and then you have notes on the company. Okay, really whatever you want to know, that will be available kind of on their website, or you can ask it to go to like different links and whatever. But to keep it simple, I like to go on the website and just ask it a couple of different questions. Okay. Now, the second use case that you can use here are post demo follow-ups, okay, or like follow-up sequences. Now, what you're able to do, like as you are taking your notes, okay, in the CRM on the call, maybe you have these as custom fields, like certain things that you're going to mention in your follow-ups. Typically in follow-ups, you have certain like personalization points that you'll touch on, but more or less 95% of the email is templated, right? So your post demo kind of follow-up sequences are typically templated, but you have those handful of things that you're going to mention as a kind of a personalization point and reference back to your call. So I would create those in a note or as a custom field. And then what you can actually do is have Zapier, again, time with ChatGPT. You can upload the templates into as a text field, and then essentially get ChatGPT to merge out the certain areas where you need to insert the personalization with what your notes are, with what the custom field is, and it'll create that sequence, and then you can actually have that automatically send. So you can actually get the call to go to ChatGPT, fill out the text, and then back to close as an email. Okay, and as a sequence. So it's pretty crazy that you can do all this stuff, with AI and automation without actually having to, go in and manually do it. Of course, to avoid error, you want to make sure that your your prompts and whatnot are set up correctly and working well. So run a handful of tests. Test that rigorously before you actually go ahead and use it. Test it out with different triggers as well, so you can have the automation run when somebody is moved to a different opportunity stage or tagged with a different thing or in a different status, so on and so forth. Test out different triggers, test out different prompts, test out different things before you actually use that as a kind of core protocol in the business, just because with this kind of new stuff, and if you're not familiar with building it, can break kind of easily. But yeah, those are just a couple of ways that you can really leverage automation and AI to save you some time on the pre and posts demo kind of activities, especially if you're a founder or somebody that has other things to worry about other than just selling. If you need help with any of this stuff, part of our process here at Sales Fusion IO is to actually build this out for you, okay? And we are rolling out our own tool to do this. But if you do want to actually get this built out and not have to do it yourself, just book a call in the link in the description here. Subscribe to the channel here if you like this, and let me know what you found useful. And stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.